Good boy. All right. Hey guys, welcome to A Couple's Thing,
where we touch on a couple of things.
So on today's episode, it's episode 3, but this is a continuation from the sex talk. So we're just gonna talk about some more things that promiscuity could ruin someone over time.
Depending on the reasons on why they're promiscuous. So if they're promiscuous for the wrong reasons, and
but what would be the right reason? That's my trick.
The right reason promiscuity to be promiscuous is just like, I don't know, your body, your choice, and you honestly feel like you're not doing anything wrong, you're not hurting anybody, you're doing it safely, and you just choose to be with different people at different times.
Okay.
The bad way from it is just lead you to a bad reputation. Just people gonna talk about you, even if you don't feel that way about yourself. It's just a lot of negative conversation around being promiscuous.
What I want to say is that I know that I'm already gonna be. People are gonna come up with their own theories on how they feel about this, but I just feel that there honestly is no good way or bad way. Being promiscuous is just that, being promiscuous. But I don't think it's good because usually, not all the time, usually it stems from a place of pain. Mm-hmm. It doesn't stem from a place of happiness. Like I find it something. Yes, I believe that there's usually something missing, or the issue is with something. They turn it into that as a coping mechanism, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that could definitely be coping. Just takes you out of this, makes you feel good. So you're gonna feel good for that moment in time.
And I think it has a lot to do with conditioning and how one is brought up. Mm-hmm. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I definitely agree. Validation may be that for a guy that you could bag a girl. That you could get them to give you all this stuff, because maybe aspects of your life, it could be something like that. It could just be trying to get away from something, so you just substitute sex because it makes you feel good for that time being, and it's fun and stuff. You know, it always fills in some emptiness for some people, which is not good, because eventually you're gonna go back to probably not being promiscuous when you figure out the real issues, and then you'd already racked up a tally and could have done some bad damage, STDs and all that.
Yeah, I was thinking about what you were saying, and I think it's a little bit deeper than that. I think it has to do with how you're raised. So, for example, if in a household where, and you tell me if this happened to you, because obviously I'm not a man, so I don't know what it's like to bring up a man or to be one, but I feel like men, I would say the generation boomer and before then, they have a way of thinking of how a man should be raised. And a lot of times it's basically congratulating them on sexual experiences, teaching them that it's okay to have a roster of women, teaching them that sexuality is their power, is their core, is their magic in between their legs. So a boy usually grows up and that's who he is.
Yeah.
He's that person, and he likes to sleep around, and he doesn't think of what it is for a woman or what it can do to him in the long run.
Yeah, and if there was more negativity towards men being promiscuous, then it would stop more. Like if they got more scrutiny the way women do, they would think more about it as well. So, but that's a culture thing that is shifting, but hopefully keeps on, because yeah, some machismo, old school mentality.
So just to piggyback off, do you believe that a number matters? Like, I know that there are a lot of men that frown upon the number of sexual partners a woman has had in her lifetime. And do you believe that that's a problem, or should I say even a question that should be asked?
To me, no. From jump, I've always thought that way. Because if once you're with me and we're being serious, it doesn't matter.
So what we're saying is that it does matter regardless.
No, it doesn't matter regardless.
Okay, so you don't think it matters at all?
No.
Okay, I agree with you.
Don't like it's not comfortable to know they had a crazy high number, of course, but that's one of the reasons you don't ask either. And if it's crazy low, you're gonna think they hiding it anyway, so it don't make no sense. And honestly, how they step into the relationship with you should be all that matters. And as long as the partners that they had don't affect you in any type of way, meaning that they're still not in her circle and she's lying about it and stuff like that, that's the only way I can see it getting a little, a little iffy. You want to be around people that have been inside your woman. I don't know. It's not comfortable.
I feel that it is not important at all to know anyone's number because number one, they can be lying. Number two is the biggest one of them all. It is none of your business. What happened before you doesn't matter. As long as the person is safe and healthy, I believe that is all that matters. Because whether someone slept with 100 individuals or 2, you're not gonna know. And I don't believe. It's not that I don't believe it, but I just don't feel that people are running around saying, I slept with 255 people. You're 256. Although I feel that men are more inclined and they feel more happy when they speak about.
Girls ain't keeping count because they trying to forget half.
Can we take a moment to just? He got up here on his own.
Terminations,
Puppy.
Just behave.
Just sit and relax, all right?
Yeah,
Good boy. Jumping into the LGBTQ community. This has to do with transgender, of course. Now, I know this is like a tough topic to speak about because number one, I am not transgender, but I 1000% support the transgender community. I support the entire LGBTQ community, and as does Justin. But I do believe it is important to continue to educate yourself. And there are a lot of people that they frown upon something without knowing. And when do you feel, in your opinion, in our opinion, it is appropriate for someone that is transgender, male to female or female to male, to, when they're dating, to tell them that they are transgender? When do you feel, to you as this person, let's say you're dating, let's say we're both single, when would you want to find out?
Jump. Straight up. I figure it's like, if you're gonna start dating anybody, you gotta be honest of like the big shit in your life, and that's pretty big.
Yeah, I think it's the biggest.
Especially somebody might not be into it if they think you're 100% women. Some might, who knows. But yeah, just straight from Jump Street. That's like me not telling you I have kids. You know what I'm saying? That could be a deal breaker for somebody to start dating that person. So that's why I'm saying.
That's true. That's true. I 100% agree. I think
it's their choice. I mean, sometimes it really shortens your pool of dating, put it that way. So
it definitely does, but I think when you say that it shortens the pool of dating, I think that's kind of good, because why would anyone want to waste their time on someone who didn't want them to begin with?
To see if it could go, it could go bad.
But I do 100% agree that it should be off jump. I don't know if there's like, if it says it in, I haven't been on dating apps in a very long time, but does it say it? A place where you can actually write it?
I'm sure.
If people are inclined to do so, I think that's a good approach to take, because it's kind of a betrayal to not say something, to wait till the second and third date. Like, you should give the other person that you're dating the opportunity to choose. So, this is a big one. I'm not too educated on it, and I actually would love that if anyone is a little bit more educated with it, throw it down in the comments and just say a couple of fun facts about it, because let's educate everyone. Asexuality. Now, the last time I remember using the word asexuality was when I was in like high school and elementary school, and we were talking about plants. Because plants and certain mammals and animals are asexual. Asexual, for those of you that don't know, is
asexuality is the lack of sexual attraction to others, or low or absent interest in or desire of sexual activity. It may be considered a sexual orientation or the lack thereof. It may also be characterized more widely to include a broad spectrum of asexual subsidies. So yeah, just don't have a sex drive, I guess, and just don't have any desire for sex.
I think that's so interesting.
It's interesting, but for this topic, we gotta talk about people that want to have sex.
I know, but how do you think? I think it's important that I mentioned it because how do you think someone gets to that point in their life?
I don't think it's a getting to the point. Is it a getting to the point, or is it
I don't
like
think
you're born like that?
No, I don't think you're born like that. I don't think you're born with a lack of sexual desire because when you're a kid, kids scientifically and medically masturbate the most. The minute they discover the sensation, they play with it. So as a child and as you're growing up watching, pornography and you're a teenager, you're experiencing different things. I don't think you're just born and saying, I'm never gonna have sex. Like, you don't know until you start growing up. So I'm wondering the type of character that like grows into that. What does it take? Is it a suffering, a trauma that someone may have gone through? I know that there's like a plethora of reasons, but I just never thought a human could be asexual.
Yeah, I don't know.
Guys, this is something that we would love for you to drop in the comments. If you happen to know or know someone who is, please drop it in the comments because I think it's important to at least know so that, I don't know.
Yeah, it could be trauma, or maybe sex ruined things for them, so they just didn't have it, and then they didn't have it for so long, they got used to not having it, and then it just wasn't a thing anymore.
Damn.
That's all.
All right, last question. What can we all do as a community, as individuals, moving forward to make talking about sex something that is normal, a normalcy, something that's not frowned upon, something that we can just openly have open dialogue and nobody's looked at in any weird way?
Goes with parenting. You gotta mold how you teach sex and the new generation. That's where you can start it with, and that's letting them know early about all the little bits, and this might feel good and why it feels good, the who, what, all the curiosity of kids, and don't automatically make it taboo. Like, you shouldn't do this.
Yeah, I agree.
You shouldn't do this, or you shouldn't have sex before this, or you shouldn't have to do this or that. Because that one, they're gonna rebel and then learn the bad ways. So you just always give them a why they can't do something, or what they should avoid with like sex, or how people might view sex in negative ways, and make sure that they have people in their body who's responsible, and just doing it for the right reasons. So yeah, that goes to parenting, honestly.
I agree. I think it's also talking to your friends about it too, because like we spend the majority of our time with our friends and they know us on a different level. So like, instead of, some people I notice, as you grow up, they bash their friends when they don't know something or when they know too much of something. And I think that it could just be more of a like, hey, when we hang out today, can you actually talk to me about this? Because maybe I can learn something new.
Yeah, people are embarrassed, and so many people are just like, it's just so like desensitized sex. So like, where it just be like, oh, he was trash because of this, or she was ass, she was whack, da 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 da.
Oh,
but
I'm
honestly,
so happy
sex,
you said that.
most of the sex is of course anatomy helps, you know what I'm saying? But most sex is about a connection, bro. It don't matter how good you think you are, you just might not have a connection with that person, and it just don't flow. And when you really have a connection with a person and you're in love and shit, and just it's gonna be usually the best sex you ever had.
I'm so happy that you said that, because it reminded me to talk about this. It wasn't until probably 2 or 3 years ago that I realized that when people say her sex was whack or his sex was trash, what does that mean? Like, just because your chemistry with that person didn't align doesn't mean that it's bad. You have to teach someone sex. Though you have to teach someone your body and how you like things. I don't feel that you can just meet someone and automatically both know exactly what you love.
For women though, do you think that like, is it like harder to judge? Like you're like, what could make my pussy trash? You know what I'm saying? No.
I mean,
guys, automatically, like, it's instant gratification of like if I'm good or not, cause.
But a guy doesn't know when he's good or not. A guy only knows. Here's the truth bomb. And ladies, chime in if you
But
agree.
the thing is, we could come fast, or we could, you know what I'm saying? Like that could be like, all right, I know I messed up.
We'll always know if you came or didn't. We'll always know if the job got done. Y'all will never know
Just 'cause y'all be
if
lying.
we did. No, I think the lying thing happens because men don't want to listen to begin with, and they want to take control, and they want to show and teach us what they know. And
fragile ego.
it's not about, you know what, tell me what you like. I feel like that is such a sexy, important conversation. Like, what do you like out of sex?
Yeah, and exactly. And if you stimulate the mind first, and you ask that, and you stimulate other things with other things, you could make it happen before it happens. So even if you don't last, fellas, you could still satisfy.
And also, it's about giving. Like, if you're literally only having sex to get off, just jerk off at home. Like, honestly, it makes no sense.
Yeah.
Connect with someone on any type of sexual way. I feel that a conversation is warranted. I feel that asking them what entices them. Don't you think that's so sexy if a woman's like, what kind of stuff you like? Like, you know what I mean? She is faking it because you're not giving her the opportunity to tell you what makes her feel good.
But guys are like, damned if we do, damned if we don't, right? Because like, say we come quick.
I think that means a good thing.
Exactly, it means a good thing. Could be like, because you got the bomb ass pussy and shit. But if we don't come quick, it's like, what's wrong? Are you cheating on me? Like, am I not good enough?
I think that everybody's different, and I think it all has to do, like what you said, with the mind.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times, men and women too, they are disconnected. When you're disconnected and you're only connected from a hole in a thing and a feeling, it's just gonna let you sit there. I feel, and you're just gonna, okay, you open your mind to other things other than what's happening in the moment. People do that. You don't think people do that?
I just make sure you don't do it.
I mean, I have in my life. You're not the only person I've had sex with. I have rewatched Friends episodes in my head while having sex. I have.
Hope you don't laugh.
No, but I'm just saying, sometimes I'm like, I can't believe this person is doing this right now.
Some guys do that to last.
That sucks.
For real.
Because we could do it again.
Like baseball, Roseanne, I don't know, whatever you use.
Yeah, like just I feel that also people have too much on their mind and too many expectations, too many worries. You don't think? I think that sex is about just like in that moment, letting go completely, and you're allowing women. You are allowing men into your oasis. This is our temple. And I'm not saying that you should allow 1 million versus
They
3.
ain't all temples, man, let me tell you. Yeah,
They are all temples. I'm sorry. Like,
some are landfills, let's be honest.
They're all temples. Every single body is an individual body that could never be recreated again. Like, it is your biggest vessel and your most important tool next to your heart, yo. Like, you never know when someone could give you something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's crazy. But you just said that, like, most important vessel next to your heart. Some people
it is.
quick to
I
let
look at
somebody
it that way.
inside their legs before their heart anytime.
Come on that note, like,
Factory.
come on.
Yeah, body's your temple, like she said. Make sure you're being responsible, having fun. And,
Conversation, guys.
Conversation.
Talk about this with your partner. Talk about it with your friends, with your parents. Read